Sean Meyers now joined by the head coach of the Southmoreland Scotties boys basketball team, Frank Muccino, as his team prepares for the 4A bracket and a terrific regular season for the Scotties. 16 wins. Frank, I know, even though maybe you didn't have the section record you wanted, that's a terrific number of wins in the regular season. When you think of this year's team, what stands out?
I just think it's a culmination of 4 hard years of work. The senior group, was thrust into playing a lot earlier than they should have as freshmen during the COVID. And they've worked really hard to develop and get better. And it's just been a combination of, getting better and putting the work in and seeing the fruits of the labor. We played really well in non-section besides maybe one game. We're in a really tough section. I'm not going to apologize for the section record. I think, there was 6 quality teams in the section, and every night was a dogfight. And, we come out on top in 5 of them, and we were on the wrong end of the stick in 5. But, we played well for the most part, and, would have liked to finish, off the bottom half of the season a little better. I think we were 500, but, everyone's 0-0 now, and we're going to take our shot and see what happens.
You have a pretty special player in Ty Keffer, and I know that he's a guy that's gotten a lot of attention, rightfully so, whether it be football or certainly basketball. What are his best attributes, and how much do you lean upon him, especially now in his senior year?
I think his best attributes is he's a coachable kid, and he has a high basketball IQ. He's a kid that, I don't have to tell more than once, how I want something done, and he does it. And, we've tried to stress to the other kids that, if you put the ball in his hands, he's going to find the open guy. Not only has he scored a lot of points, but, I look at the stat sheets after the game, and he always has more assists than he has turnovers. So that means he's getting other guys involved. He's getting other guys looks. And there's a lot of times he's getting them looks, and we don't finish on the other end, so you don't get the assist. But he's always gotten 5, 6, 7 assists a game. So he's getting other people looks. He's our leading rebounder. He just does it all. He's probably our best defender. I mean, we don't always put him on the other team's best player because, I want to keep him out of foul trouble. I need him on the floor. But, if I have to in crunch time, he's guarding the best player on the other team, and odds are he's going to shut him down. So.
Well, obviously you talked about him dishing out assists. That means other guys on the floor scoring as well. And I know Wyatt Richter is another player that has been pretty good for you. Who are some guys that maybe don't get the headlines but have been instrumental in the team's success?
Right. I mean, you got Wyatt Richter, you have Noah Flenser, Ronnie Collins, Elliot Primus has had a really good year. He's a big kid, athletic kid. As soon as he gets a little more fundamentals of the game and gets a little more comfortable, he's going to be really good. So, I mean, those are, the guys in the starting lineup. Ty Campbell's, stepped in when Ronnie's gotten hurt and played pretty well. Ty Works played pretty well when his number has been called. So there's been a lot of guys that have stepped in and, done the little things when they've been asked. So
I know the great success in the non-section, and you mentioned 500 in a very competitive section, but your team gets just the 14th seed, meaning you go against number 3 Montour. What were the projections you had for the seeding, and how did you react to when you find out what the bracket did look like?
I thought we were right where we should be. I don't get all tied up in the seedings. When you get at this point, we were the 4th place team out of our section. So, I mean, we can't ask for much more than what we got. We played ourselves into that position, and now we've got to, play against one of the top teams in 4A, and, we're going to take our shot. But, honestly, when I planned out the bracket myself, just playing around, I mean, that's about where I put us, Montour's a very good team. You know, they're strong, athletic. You know, they have the 6'11" kid in the middle, two really good guards that can shoot it, two guards that to defend pretty well, and they get downhill. I mean, when they're going to the basket, they're going. You know, you better step in and be ready to take a charge because, you know, their head's going down, they're going to get there. You know, and the Wolf kid can really shoot it. You know, so, yeah, they're going to be a challenge. They do multiple things. You know, a lot of times we've seen them pressing with the 2-1-2 press. Sometimes they're half court man and they're face guarding the other team's best players. You know, so it'd be interesting to see what they think of us and how they come out. But, you know, we're preparing for everything and see what happens.
Well, certainly 3 versus 14, it would be a major upset if your team does advance. But in terms of not just the strategy, but the mindset, the approach, the mentality, what have you stressed to the guys to try to pull off this stunner?
What do we have to lose? You know, like you said, 3 versus 14, nobody's really giving us a chance. You know, the only people who need to give us a chance is the guys in the locker room. You know, other than that, you know, really don't care what the outside world thinks. You know, it's who's in the locker room. We're going to believe in ourselves and we're going to go out and do the best we can do and see what happens. So.
And it probably helps having a head coach who knows all about winning championships over the last couple of years as well. Frank, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate the time and good luck.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.